Dueteronomy 8, a warning not to forget God in prosperity. This entire commandment that I command you today must be diligently observed so that you may live and increase and go and occupy the land that the Lord promised on an oath to your ancestors. Remember the long way to the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness in order to humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether or not he would keep his commandments. He humbled you by letting you hunger and by feeding you with manna, with which neither of your ancestors were acquainted, in order to make you understand that one does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of the Lord. The clothes on your back did not wear out, and your feet did not swell these 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a parent disciplines a child, so the Lord your God disciplines you. Therefore keep the commandments of the Lord your God by walking in his ways and by fearing him. For the Lord your God was bringing you into a good land, a land flowing with streams, with springs and underground waters, welling up in valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive trees and honey, a land where you may eat bread without scarcity, where you will lack nothing, a land whose stones are iron, and from whose hills you may mine copper. You shall eat your fill and bless the Lord your God for the good land that he has given you. Take care that you do not forget the Lord your God by failing to keep his commandments, his ordinances, and statutes, which I am commanding you today. When you have eaten your fill and have built fine houses and live in them, and when your herds and your flocks have multiplied, and your silver and gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then you do not exalt yourself, forgetting the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, who led you through the great and terrible wilderness, an arid wasteland with poisonous snakes and scorpions. He made water flow from your flint rock and fed you in the wilderness with manna that your ancestors did not know, to humble you and to test you, in the end to do your good. Do not say to yourself, my power and the might of my own has been gained me this wealth. But remember the Lord your God, for he is who gives you power to get wealth, so that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your ancestors, as he is doing today. If you do forget the Lord your God and follow other gods and serve to them and and worship them, I solemnly warn you today that you shall surely perish. Like the nations that the Lord is destroying before you, so you shall perish, because you would not obey the voice of the Lord your God.